here in Cartagena. So excited. We're coming to eat at Carmen. Dear friend of mine. They started off in Medellin. They're now here in Cartagena for the last 10 years. Their 10-year anniversary is this year. So super excited. It's based on seafood. So I can't wait. Let's go and check it out. In Carmen, my dear friend Carmen has invited us here with Pipe, the guy that runs the show, the guy that's pretty much manages this beautiful venue. So I'm super excited, Carmen. Carmen, she doesn't know, but it's one of my favorite restaurants in Colombia. In Medellin, she started 13 years ago, and she started Cartagena 10 years ago. And Pipe has been running the show from the beginning. Why Cartagena, and how you got started kind of in Carmen in general? Because I know some history about you, because you guys started, you and your husband met in culinary school in California, and then your dad gave you guys an ultimatum. You guys can open up a restaurant, but it has to be in Medellin, and he pulled you guys to Medellin, right? Is that how the whole thing kind of got started?
It was a bit of a drunken night. My dad was living in Colombia. He kind of made his life in the United States. I grew up in California, and lots of tequila. One night he was visiting in San Francisco. Rob and I met in Le Cordon Bleu, San Francisco. And the next day we're opening a restaurant together, which obviously for us was like a dream come true. And we knew it was going to be a lot of work, but we also knew we had an amazing opportunity that we had to take advantage of. And so Rob and I moved to Medellin in 2008. We opened Carmen Medellin in 2009. And then we opened Carmen Cartagena, Rob and I, in 2012. Pipe is just really like, spearheading everything and leading the ship. And we have an amazing team here in Carmen Cartagena. Beautiful space, as you can see. And here in Carmen Cartagena, we have a new concept that is actually kind of like the idea of Pipe and the team, which is Sala 23.
Sala 23. He's 30 years old, running this mega warship that is unbelievable. ¿De dónde eres? ¿De dónde eres? De Manizales.
Siempre estuvo como la pasión por la cocina, entonces...
¿Eso viene de una abuela, de una tía, de un primo?
Yo creo que obviamente cuando estaba muy pequeño buscando trabajo, llegó como a una pizzería. Llegó como a una pizzería. Empezó
a lavar platos como todos.
Sí, a lavar platos. Entonces, pues,
so many amazing chefs start out as dishwashers.
Estando allí, como que ascendí, fui pizzero, preparar las hamburguesas, las suizas, todo esto. Entonces ya llegó un momento donde sentía que algo más me pedía. Entonces cerca de allí había un restaurante como de comida asiática. Entonces me ofrecen trabajo y yo llego allá otra vez a lavar, a picar, a hacer todo.
Todo esto en Manizales, en donde tú naciste.
Todavía estaba en el colegio. En este transcurso me llamó una amiga, no, están dando clases de cocina en el SENA, hay unas convocatorias. Entonces estando allí como que llego, digo, me presento por si paso, si no pasa nada.
Y pasaste.
Y me presenté y pasé. Dentro de 90 personas eran 10 cupos y entré yo.
10-year anniversary this year, so super excited. Gracias por tenerme, Carmen.
Bienvenido.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me. And guys, you just sit back, and I can't wait for this experience to start. So
let's do it. Let's do it.
Awesome. So we're starting off with the appetizers. This looks absolutely beautiful. Just look how beautiful this plate is. Wow. Look at that. So this seems to be, it's called El Cóctel, and it's got shrimp, octopus, and pink sauce, which is very typical, and it's inspired by, like Carmen was saying, from the carts that kind of when you go to the beach. And this is very Caribbean, the pink sauce. Yeah, the little carts kind of going on the streets, selling ceviche with this pink sauce. So it's got a little kick to it. The outside, the corozo, is a little salty, as you feel a little sweetness to it. The chewiness, a lot of flavors in my mouth. Again, you have a little kick to it. And also, this right here is almost like a foam, like it's like a bubble bath of corozo, which is absolutely delicious. the way it just kind of melts in your mouth. And this is kind of the crackers that they do. Absolutely beautiful. I'm sure they use squid ink on this. It's got the same cracker. This is very, very typical from here. I mean, my dad is also from the coast, from the Caribbean. And he loves his ceviche with this pink sauce, which is mayo and ketchup based, but it's very, very popular here around the coast. Look how beautiful this plate is. This plate has some texture on it. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's octopus, and I'm so excited because they actually preserve socially sustainable with the families. It's not true at all. It's local octopus, which is even better. They really focus on trying to get everything local. I taste a little bit of the hibiscus flower kind of in everywhere, but very subtle. Here they have little potatoes kind of in the middle, little Colombian potatoes, which give it a crunchiness and a whole nother texture to the dish. But again, another beautiful dish. Presentation-wise is absolutely gorgeous, an absolute perfect dish. Well, unbelievable. Alright, so you don't only come for lunch, you can just come for cocktails, which can't go wrong with that. So let's try this amazing, look how beautiful this cocktail is. Wow. I get the pineapple, I get the gooseberry, and the viche, I get a little of the aguardiente, and the viche is a flavor that has a lot of, I'm not too familiar with viche, but I know it's very authentic from Colombia, and it's got very refreshing, so I think it's perfect for Cartagena. Cocktails, cheers. So we're here, we're gonna taste a very, very traditional dish from Cartagena, from this place, but it's Carmen's twist, Carmen and Pipe's twist on this dish, which I absolutely love. It's like kind of like a roast beef, but they make it with Coke. It has anise, it has cinnamon, it has, they do it with Worcestershire sauce, and they do it with something else that's very similar, that's called salsa negra. And then in the bottom, look how beautiful this puree, it's a potato puree. On the bottom, this is the posta negra. They call it kind of like a black roast. And then he puts chimichurri. And then look how you have this beautiful mizuna, which is also from the foundation. Mother of households grows certain thing in different households, and then they kind of cumulative come and sell it to them, sell them the product. So it's papa criolla, which is the local potato. It's a small little potato. Oh man, it's just kind of. So this usually cooks for like 5-6 hours, sometimes 8 hours for a long period of time. So that's probably one of the best posta cartageneras I've ever had. So let's go on to the next one. This is called the cazuela. So if you look at it, it's rice. They threw plantains in there. They have octopus, he has lobster, shrimp, local shrimp. Again, these guys get everything locally here in the coast. So you have a little of the Asian kind of stir fry on the bottom, which is absolutely delicious. And then he threw like a little sauce over it, which is kind of like, I would almost say like a fish stock, which just kind of wet the rice, and it kind of just mixes in with everything, and the sweetness of the plantains. Forget it, drop the mic. This is absolutely amazing. Completely drop the mic. Absolutely awesome. We just finished our main courses in Carmen, and just inside the restaurant there's this small section, what we were talking about earlier. It's Sala 23, which is because it has 23 spots, and then this is part of the tasting menu. It's an 11-course tasting menu, but here we have 3 choices which are very, very Colombian. Chef Felipe had kind of explained to us what each one was. So this is amazing. This is the inside, the pulp of the coconut. Underneath is a shrimp kind of grilled with coconut, with the leftovers of the coconut, which that actually gives a really good flavor when you barbecue, because usually when we use coconut or fresh coconut, we leave there's always like that big bark. What do you do with it? What do you do with it with a shell? And you can actually, if you throw it into the grill, it actually burns very well and it gives a very particular flavor to the barbecue. The sweetness of the coconut, you have the crunchiness, a few different textures there. So this is also coconut based, coconut milk based. And then this crunchiness is dehydrated ogao. So ogao is a very typical dish also from here. It's onions, tomatoes, kind of sauteed, but they dehydrate it and then they crumble it. I think I've felt that in every single dish here with Carmen. It's like that explosion of flavors. And when the dish leaves, when we finish the dish, like I still feel kind of my mouth going crazy, like this umami that's just absolutely delicious. Wow. This part of the tasting menu, it's an 11-course meal. We just had one, so look how beautiful these dishes are. So this is un bollo, which is, again, it's very much from the coast. We grew up eating it. It's kind of a steamed cornmeal is what it is, but it's a specific form in how it's made. And this is carimañola, which carimañola is yuca, tapioca base, tapioca powder, or cassava base with some caviar on top. At first sight, it almost looks like a peanut butter, but I see like onion very, very smallly cut. This is, I think this is coconut. So like coconut. Oh no, cheese. Oh wow, that's right. He said queso costeño, so that's Colombian cheese. Very, very small, and it's almost like seared. I feel a little kick to it. I feel a little spice to it. The bollo, he told me, was a little sweet, which is that cornmeal, but it's sweet cornmeal. I'm trying to describe it, but I feel like everything almost at once, just mixing perfectly. I feel it's got a little heat to it. And the crunchiness of the saltiness of the cheese, I feel it in the back. Some kind of tomato. I think this one also has ogao, but it's that onion and onion mix with the little chives, and wow, that is awesome. And the bollo is also sweet, so the cornmeal is a little sweet on the sweet side. Wow, amazing. We have a carimañola. So carimañola is also another very typical dish from here. It's a yuca, cassava base. So this one I'm gonna cut in half. It's got caviar inside, on top. So that's not something you normally see. So you have the saltiness of the caviar. I taste the yuca like perfectly. A little bit of the foie gras just has a little bit of that essence that you taste it with the arequipe, the sweetness. Wow. Come to that tasting. So that tasting is 11 courses here. Sala 23. The place is absolutely beautiful. It's a complete different decor than what's in the inside of the restaurant. A different ambiance. It's air conditioned. Absolutely phenomenal. 11 courses here inside of Carmen. So the part that I always don't like, we're getting to the end. These are the last two dishes of this unbelievable experience. So now we're down to the desserts. So this one here is kind of like a cholao, which is a dessert from Cali. So they kind of deconstructed it. So they have mango ice cream, mora ice cream, guanabana foam. Very refreshing, very light. Ton of flavors. Like they all mix amazingly together. This is chocolate base. He says 70% cacao. So he told me to just kind of dip a little bit and get a little bit of everything. So it's a foam. I feel some kind of a cake in there, como un tipo de torta. So check that out. You can see the layers. Yeah, just by the looks of it, I feel a little saltiness to it. So it's maybe like a salted caramel. These little crunchies on top, which is also chocolate, and I think this was, I think he had said it was like a macadamia, some kind of a nut, and again, just wow. Guys, what a ridiculous experience. She has different parts to this restaurant. Again, I'm right now in Sala 23, which has 23 seats, 11 courses. What we had earlier was all experiences from outside, from the main dining room, on the patio. She has air conditioning area, great cocktail program. This was an absolute bombard of flavors, and my mouth is still exploding with everything I had today. So highly recommended. Great seafood, known for her seafood, and this was just what a perfect restaurant. Thank you so much, guys. Till next time here, Carmen Cartagena. Till next time.